Okay, so we're going to continue section 2.4. So Sergio needs to buy gifts for 8 friends. He wants to give the same gift to all his friends, and he plans to have the gifts wrapped for an additional charge of $1.50 each. If Sergio spends at least $70, he will receive free shipping on his order. Write and solve an inequality to determine how much Sergio needs to spend on each gift in order to receive free shipping. Okay, what do we want to say that this is worth? Or what what is the gift worth? Do we know? No. So we always start this by pretending we do know. So what do you want to start with? What value? $20. All right. Always pick an easy number. So $20. So how much is the extra charges? What are the extra charges for? What is that $150 for? Okay, so wrapping the gifts would be $1.50 more. So how much would one gift cost that was $20? $21.50. So you would add the $1.50. Okay, if you buy another gift and he wants to give the same gift, right? So what does that mean? Same amount. So I would do 20 plus $1.50. Okay, so I set you up. Go ahead and try to do the rest. Try to find out what it looks like with a variable. All right, solved for this problem. Let me go back to that previous slide. So they had 20 plus $1.50, 20 plus $1.50, and I could just keep on doing this. What's an easier way to write this? What if I knew it was 8 friends? So I'm buying this 8 times. So how could I write this? Go ahead. You said it. Yeah, you did say it. So adding up a certain amount of times is the same thing as if I added up 8 times, I would write 8 times 20 plus $1.50. Right. What if I changed the 20? What if I changed it to 25? I would just change this part, right? What if I changed it to 100? 100. So if I spend $7, I would change it to 7. Here? So I would change it to whatever I say is here. But if I don't know, I'm going to put a variable. What variable did you guys pick? X. Okay. Anyone else? G. G for gift. Okay. So you can pick any variable. Doesn't matter. It just represents I don't know. So what is this? How much did I spend on the gift? I don't know. So all of this part right here, this part is our training wheels. Okay, eventually you won't have the training wheels. You'll just be riding. It's going to be great. Excited? I'm excited. All right, so you have 8 times x plus $1.50, right? How much do you want to spend? Okay, so at least $70. So we have the 70 here. We have 70 there, and now we got to make our visual. So if you're not having any of this part of the visual, try to write it somewhere in the margins, anywhere you can fit. So you have 70, and you put 2 slashes. What number do you want to put here? 69, 71. All right, you want to spend, Sergio wants to spend at least $70. So is it okay to spend 69 or 71? What do you think? He wants to spend at least $70. What does at least mean? 70 or more. So which one should be a good answer? 69 or 71? 72. He said 72. But yes, 72 would be an answer also. Anything to the right is an answer. That's why we have this arrow drawn. You ready for some magic?
I was wrong and then I was right.
No, you were just wrong. I'm just kidding. All right, so you have the arrow here. Okay, ready for magic? Is the variable on the left side for this? Yeah, the x is on the left side. So I can do this trick. If it was on the right side, I can't do it. Oh, is it greater than or equal to, or just greater than? Okay, so we have to shade this one in, and that's why we put the bar right here. Good. Did anyone solve yet? Okay. So there's two ways to solve, remember? I can either... Sometimes one way is easier than the other, though. So I can divide by 8, but does 8 go into 70 evenly? No, so this one would not be the easy way. It would if it was something like 80, because then I would say 10 greater than or equal to x plus $1.50. But this is not 80. So I wouldn't do it this way, since it was 70. What's the other way? Double rainbow all the way. Okay. So we are going to say, what is 8 times x? 8x. What is 8 times $1.50? 12 bucks. 0, 40, 8, 12. And then, why did I put the decimal right there? No.
Because you have money and you have a decimal there.
No.
Since it's multiplication, you count it twice.
Okay. So there are two spots after the decimal point. You see that? Here's the decimal point here. How many spots are there that we wrote? No, there's nothing to the right. This is the start of the equation here. Start of the expression. So I want to move it over 2 times. 1, 2. So we have $12 here. Greater or equal to 70. Hey, Marticela, what did we do after? That was beautiful. That was really good. Okay, be a little bit more specific. By what? I like that. So take away each side by what? What are you trying to move? 70. What's the goal?
Okay.
We're trying to get x alone, right?
Yeah.
12. All right. So we're going to move the 12. What is 70 minus 12? We could put the decimal 0, 0 if it helps, but this will just be 0. So what is 70 minus 12? 58? Okay. 58 greater than or equal to 8x. Jonna, what do we do now? Divided by? Genius! Divided by 8. X is greater than or equal to, 8 goes into 58 how many times?
You have to do the long division.
Okay. What's your favorite hamburger place? In-N-Out. See? What I'm doing here is brainwashing you. I have stock in In-N-Out, and I'm going to make money now.
So you're trying to make us all go to In-N-Out?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm still not going.
Bad thing was I told you my plan. Inside, 58. Outside, 8. 8 goes into 5 how many times, guys? 0. 8 goes into 58 how many times? 7. What is 8 times 7? 56. Okay, 58 minus 56. 2. What do we do now? There's no 0 yet, so we got to put decimals. Zeros. Don't be angry. All right. Okay, bring down the 0. 8 goes into 20 how many times? 2. 8 times 2?
16.
16. What is 20 minus 16?
4.
4. Don't make this Luis's class. Come on, you need to punk him with answers, but yeah. Bring the other 0 down. Someone besides Luis. He's tired. 8 times what gives me 40? 5. Okay, so this is 40. Subtract 0. All right, so your answer is going to be 7.25. What does this mean? What did X represent? What did X represent? The gift. So if I want to make sense of this problem, I can look at it visually. What's the next whole number?
8.
8. What is this whole number?
6.
6 or 7? Which one? So I'll do 7 and 6 just so we have them all. So if I circle this, can I buy something that's $7.25 and still be under $70? Yeah. So what does this mean? Is it going to be open or closed based on this? Closed. Do I graph it to the right or left? Yep. Think of this as an arrow, guys. So this is to the right. What does this mean? What did I find out here?
That you can spend more than 725. Or 725.
So he has to spend at least $7.25 or more to do what? Go ahead, everyone take a second. Read the problem again, because there's no point solving this if we don't know what we found. So take a second, please read the problem, and then I'm going to ask you again. Okay. Now, what did this tell me? If you look at the visual of this, what did this tell me? Good. So he could say any number to the right, $20, $100, $1,000 per gift, and you'll get free shipping. Good job. Any questions? Okay, go ahead and go to the next one. I'm going to leave this on there for a second so people can copy it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What was the point of putting 20 there when all we were going to do was change it to a variable?
So remember I circled it and I said these are your training wheels? A lot of people, it's hard to see it when it's an unknown. It was much easier to say, oh, well, if it was $20, how would I do this problem? Then I take these training wheels off and I say, oh, well, this $20, I can change that for an unknown, which is X. So everything else is the same, but this part changes. So that's why I circled this. This is your training wheels, all of this stuff. All right, so what did you highlight for that first one? So we have the home cleaning company charges $312 to power wash the siding of a house, plus $12 for each window. First sentence, what do you highlight? Okay, $312. Okay, for the power wash. Okay, plus $12 for each window. I'm putting this one in red, you don't have to, but I'm putting this one in a different color because I want to see which one depends on how many windows there are. Okay, Power Clean charges $36 per window, and the price includes power washing the siding. What did you highlight? Okay, and we're going to put that in red because it depends on that. Now, as far as the two companies, we have the Home Cleaning Company and Power Clean. Okay. And this price, the $36 per window, includes power washing the siding. How many windows must a house have to make, or how many windows must a house have to make the total cost from the Home Cleaning Company less expensive than Power Clean? Was that a hard sentence, or I just couldn't read right now? I don't know. Hey, be nice. All right, let W be the number of windows. So what are we trying to find from this last sentence, or the second to last? We have how many windows must a house have to make the total cost of the Home Cleaning Company less expensive than Power Clean? So which company do we want to be less expensive? Home Cleaning. So we're going to use H for Home Cleaning and P for Power Clean. So we have H and P. So should the cost of H be less than or greater than P? So let's see, it says we want it to be less expensive. So H is less than P.
So we have to write it in quality, right?
Yeah. So this is cluing us into what we want to say. Now I want to find out what I know about H and what I know about P for their prices. So I'm going to say what H equals, and then I'm going to say what P equals. Okay, so our first sentence tells us what H is going to be. Now, how much do you have to pay regardless for H? 312. No matter what happens, that's my starting point. It's going to be $312. How much does it cost for every window that they do? $12. So, am I missing anything here though?
Yeah.
What?
W, 12 times W.
12 times W. Good.
Only 12.
Good. And if we needed to, we would have done our training wheels and we would have said, oh, 12 times one window plus 312. 12 times two windows plus 312, and kept on going until we realized, hey, let's just switch this out for a W. So we could have done it that way as well. What about P for Power Clean? What is their price? 36 what? Per window, so 36W. Good. What is it called when I replace this? When I have H here, and I'm going to replace it with this. I have P here. Let's go to a different color. And I'm going to replace it. What is this replacing called? Teacher comes in, teacher goes out, who comes in? Substitute. So this is called substitution. Okay, so we're going to substitute this. Well, both forms work. Substitute or substitution. Now, what did we put for H? Instead of H, we're going to write 12W. 312. Okay, Luis, no more talking. You obviously know the answers. Okay? Your privileges will be reinstated soon. Couldn't come up with the word. All right. So who else? What would I put for P? 36W. Good job. We don't need you, Louise. We don't need you. Just kidding. All right. Now we're just going to solve for W, and this will tell us when the windows will make it to where our Home Cleaning Company is less expensive than our Power Clean. So go ahead and try to solve for this by combining like terms first. So here I'm going to tell you the strategy, and then I'm going to pause the video and you try to do it. We're going to first move the 12W over here. We know this is positive. How do I move that? Okay. Come on. Don't ruin the ending. No one's going to want to take you to the movies. Okay. So you move that 12W. Now you have something over here, some number, whatever, 36 and 12, whatever it is, and then you're going to divide after. Okay? So it's going to be subtraction, then division, and you'll have your answer. Okay, try this out with those hints, and then we'll go over the answer in about, let's say, 2 minutes. Okay, so let's go over this. Okay. All right, so we have think of positive as addition. We're going to subtract what on both sides? Just 12? No.
I'm confused. That switched because I didn't do the 12. I did the 312 instead.
Okay, so let's look at this. We want to, our strategy is to get W alone, right? Before you do that, if you notice there's 2 W's here. So I'm going to want to actually combine them. So we're combining like terms. So I want to move this whole thing over here. So I want to combine these two. Now when they're opposite sides, it might help to see that they're opposite sides by first building a wall. Right? Now write this down. If it's on the same side of the wall, right, you're going to combine like terms. If it's on opposite sides, opposite operation. Okay, so let's do a couple example problems. Like if I had 3x plus x equals 7, build the wall. Are they on the same side or opposite? Same. So put a 1 here if it helps you see it. What's 3 plus 1? 4. More participation, guys. 4x equals 7, and you would solve for it that way. Now, if it was the other way, and we had 3x equals 7 plus 1x, right? We would build the wall. This is a like term with this one. Are they on the same or opposite side? Opposite side. Everyone, tell me what I do when I have opposite side. You're everyone. You did good. I'm not saying about you. Everyone else. You ready? What do I do if it's on opposite side? Aw, you made me so proud. Opposite operation. So now we got to subtract the 1x. What's 3x minus 1x? 2x equals, and then 7. Okay? So I'm not solving the whole thing because the point of this was to say what I do if it's on the same side of the wall. What do I do if it's on the opposite side of the wall? Okay. So looking at this, you see what is a like term with 12W? 36W. Same side or opposite? Opposite side. So we have to do the opposite operation. Think of it as addition. Subtract 12W. Bring down the 312, and it's less than, what's 36 minus 12? 24. If you move the 36 instead, go ahead and keep it. I'm going to solve it both ways so you can see the difference. Now 24W, what operation is happening when they're close? Multiplication. What is the inverse operation? Hey, let me finish. What is the inverse operation? Now go. Good job. All right, divide by 24. 24 goes into 312 how many times? Anyone find that out? 13? Okay, I'm going to believe you guys. More than one said it. So it's 13 is less than W. Now if I want to put W here, 13 here, how do I do that? I have to change the sign. So I'm flipping it. So what do I have to do the sign? Greater than. So there's two ways to look at it. You can say this is an arrow. Is it pointing towards the 13 or a W? 13. So I want it to still point towards the 13. Or you can say this is teeth. It wants to eat the W. It still needs to want to eat the W. Okay. All right. Now let's go back. Did everyone copy this down? All right, pay attention to this part. This is pretty important. You have to realize that I could have solved it by moving the 36W, but a little bit of the process would change at the end. So let's solve it real quick. So if I move the 36W, I would subtract 36W here. I would still get a 24W, but then I would get a negative 24W. So then you'd have negative 24W plus 312, and you'd have to subtract the 312 here. Subtract the 312 here. So this one would make it to negative 312 less than negative 24W. Now when I divide this, I need to divide by a negative, and this is where it changes. This is the whole point I wanted to do this part. Because dividing by a negative, whenever you divide by this negative, it has to flip the sign. So I would get W, and then flip this sign, greater than. I'm going to write it over here. W, greater than. And then we said 24 goes into 312 13 times. A negative divided by a negative, positive. I get the same answer only because I knew to flip this. When do you flip it? When you divide by a negative. Genius! Good job. Okay, so when you divide by a negative, that's when you flip the sign. If you forget that, the answer is all wrong. Because remember, when you look at the answers, you're looking at it visually. So instead of going to the right like this, you would actually go to the left if you kept it the same, and this would be all the wrong answers. So you'd only want it to the right.
I did mine completely different.
Did you still get the right answer? Okay.
I just got the 13 on the left.
You got the 13 on the left?
Yeah, because I divided by a negative.
Oh, was it this part?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after we flipped it. So it's the same? I could check your work later. Yeah. All right. Any questions on this? Is it hard? No? Just remember to start with what you're trying to find and then substitute it in. Okay, everyone has really good notes, so then you can start on the next one on your own. I'm going to leave this one up. Make sure your notes match with what's on the paper. That way it's easy to do the next one. Okay, go ahead and start the next one by highlighting first. Highlighting first, and try to not highlight everything, only the things that are important. Keep going. So the daily info charge is a fee of $650 plus $80 per week to run an ad. All right, what did you highlight in that first sentence?
Daily info charges a fee of $650.
The whole thing? Okay, let's try to break it down a little bit more.
$650.
Okay, $650. So we're gonna say the fee of $650, and then what else?
Plus 80 per week.
Okay, so plus 80 per week. So I'm changing colors again because this per week depends on how many weeks you're gonna be subscribed, right? The People's Paper charges $145 per week. What did you highlight?
145.
Per week. And now I'm going to go back in green and highlight the places. I'm sure you highlighted that. So daily info. I'm just going to highlight the letter actually. Because now we can kind of go back easy and say, oh, I'm going to use D and I'm going to use P for those two. For how many weeks must an ad run for the total costs at the daily info to be less expensive than the costs at the People's Paper? Let W be the number of weeks the ad runs in the paper. Okay. So, what are we trying to find out?
What D equals and P equals.
Okay, so daily info, and we're trying to find if it's less expensive than People's Paper, right? So we have D and P. What is the comparison here? What's the inequality? Less than. Okay, everyone agree? Okay, what did you get for D?
650.
$6.50. That's it? What's the whole price?
Plus 80W.
Okay, 80W, and then we have plus 650. Okay,
And then P equals 145W.
and P equals 145W. Good job. All right. So Aureliana, what do I do for D and P? So what's my next step? Starts with an S. No? Try again. Hey, no answers. Don't give her answers. This is everyone for themselves. This is hardcore. Well, okay. I take that back. But, what do you mean? I'm in the middle of a rant and you want to go to the restroom? Okay, go ahead. Just because I know you got the last one. Did you already finish this problem?
Yeah.
Okay. Hurry back. All right. So now for D, what should I put? 80W plus 650 less than for P? 145W. Awesome job. Okay. Once again, what is this called that you just did? Substitution. All right. Did you guys already solve this part, or are you still working on it? Do you need more time? A little bit? Okay, let's do 1 to 2 minutes, all right? Try to finish up. Make sure you build the wall and say same side or opposite side to figure out what you're going to do. Okay, so we have 80W plus 650 less than 145W. We already built the wall. What is a like term with 80W? 145W. Same side or opposite side? Opposite sides means opposite operation. So same side would be your combined like terms, but it's on the opposite side, so opposite operation. Okay, gotta make sure I'm recording before we start. All right. So we had it to where it was on the opposite side. Opposite side, what was it? Subtract 80, which is opposite side, opposite. Come on, I made this chant up. I have flyers and everything. We're going to go to the streets of San Bernardino and chant this. Tell me you're ready. We're going to be walking up to other political protesters with this sign. Opposite side, opposite operation. Are you not on the same team? Okay. Anyways, let's move this. 80W said subtract. So subtract this here. If you move the 145W, you would have had more work because the number's over here, as you saw in the last one. But a good rule of thumb, if you don't want to deal with negatives, always move the smaller number. What's smaller, 145 or 80? 80. So I would move that one, and you won't have any negatives, so you won't have to worry about flipping the sign that way. Okay, what is 80W minus 80W? 0. Bring the 650 down. Less than, what did you get for this? 65? Or was it 55? I heard 65. What was it? 80 to 100 would be 20. Add it to 45, 65W. Okay, 65 and W are really close. What's the operation? Oh, what's the operation first? Multiplication? Good. Inverse operation is division. Divide by what? Oh, what you want to move, so 65. 65 goes into 650 how many times? 10. 10 is less than W. Now, how would I make it W and 10? So what would this be? It's pointing towards what? W or 10? The 10. So we want it still to point towards the 10. Okay, read the problem again and tell me what W greater than 10 means for the problem. Okay, ready? Karen, this one's all you. So tell me what that means. W is greater than 10. That's fine. I just want to, do you know? You think so? Okay. 10 weeks. Okay, what about 10 weeks? What happens in 10 weeks? A new Marvel movie? What happens? Probably. It's like always, huh? Yeah. Okay. So basically in 10 weeks, you said daily info is less than the People's Paper. Good. So in 10 weeks or greater, this one makes it true. So it makes it true that this paper will be less than that one. Good job. Okay, let's see. I'll leave number 5 for you guys to do on your own. We'll check those later, or check it actually with each other. I think we've done enough practice on this one. So let's go to evaluate. All right, number 1, Max has more than 5 carrots. Number of carrots Max has is C. Bridget is shorter than 5 feet. Use the height. All right, so go ahead and try to do these 4 problems. Actually, there's more than 4. 5 problems. That should be a 5, not a 6. Okay. And then we'll start doing this practice together after that. So about 5 minutes for this page, and then we'll meet together, and then we'll start doing the odd problems on this one together. Okay, go ahead and start. All right, so we're going to look at number 6 on this. So Tony can carry up to 18 pounds in her backpack. Her lunch weighs 1 pound. Her gym clothes weigh 2 pounds, and her books weigh 3 pounds each. How many books can she carry in her backpack? So let's first look at this visually. All right, we have a backpack here. All right. Okay. Has a backpack there. Here's the screws. All right. Getting carried away drawing this backpack. All right. So you have this backpack here. Here's the zipper. Here's some stitching. Now it'd be ridiculous. All right. So you can carry a total of 18 pounds. So this is from 0 to 18 pounds. Okay. Her lunch weighs 1 pound. So if you think about 1 pound, it'd probably be about that much shaded. I'm ruining my drawing. We're going to do a highlighter instead. All right, so we have 1 pound shaded and 2 pounds of gym clothes. So 2 more pounds gym clothes. And then 3 pounds for books. And her books, we don't know how much that weighs though. So how much is left though at this point? We had 1 and 2. 15. So you would say 2 pounds plus 1 pound, right? plus, and then we don't know the books, but we know what about the books? They're 3 pounds each. So what do you think I should put next to 3? B. All right, so 3B, and then can we have it? We know we want it to be 18 pounds or greater or less. Less. So this has to, when I add up all the weight, it has to be less than 18 pounds, or it could be equal to it. And now we would solve. So we have 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 3 pounds, less than or equal to 18. Now we would subtract the 3, subtract the 3. 3b is less than or equal to 15. Divide by the 3, divide by the 3, and b is less than or equal to 3 goes into 15 5 times. What does this mean? She can carry 5 books. Can she carry 6? Can she carry 4? Yeah. So visually, it means from 5, I can go to the left. But when I'm at 0, that's where it stops. So if we want to be technical about this, remember to say in between, we would say 0 less than or equal to b, less than or equal to 5. This last part we haven't had a lot of practice on, but that's how you would say it when you're having the range. Because you can't carry negative 2 books. How would you do that?
Greater than 0?
Huh?
Would it be greater than 0?
Greater than 0?
No, that's right.
Yeah, so not yeah to your tripping, but yeah on this part is basically you could write it like this, but since the B is now on the right side, see how it was pointing towards the B? It needs to still point towards, oh wait, I messed up, huh? Yeah, I messed up here. Yeah, this part right here. This part's still good. I messed up over here. This should be greater than here. So I can have more than 0 books, and I can have less than 5 books. So this would be in between when you combine them. Okay. Questions? All right, let's go to inequality practice. Who's excited? Boo? Oh, I think you meant woo. No? Okay. We'll work on it. Okay, let's start at 7. So remember there were 2 ways to solve this. I could either divide by the 3 on both sides, or I could distribute this 3 for both sides. Which one do you think is easier? Distribute? Okay. Well, that's your choice. I think either one will be okay. Let's just do both. That's the fun way to do it, right? So what's 3 times x? What's 3 times negative 2? Almost. Negative 2. Negative 6. Greater than negative 3. X is your bodyguard. What is it not protecting well, and what do you want to move? It's your bodyguard. It's really yoked. It's protecting what well? What is it not protecting well? Negative 6. How do you want to move that negative 6? Look at it this way. Here's the wall. Opposite side. Opposite operation. Add 6, add 6. Negative 3 plus 6, 3. Greater than 3x. Multiplication, inverse operation. Division, divide by 3. X is greater than what? Good job, guys. Okay, let's look at the other way like I promised you. Yeah, I deliver. Divide by the 3, divide by the 3. X minus 2 is greater than negative 1. Add 2, add 2. X is greater than 1. So it's definitely worth knowing both ways. Only picking one way and never knowing the other way is not going to help you. You would have to know both ways because you need to know the left side that you would be able to do distributive property because you'll run into that. On the right side, just knowing that you can divide, you would need to know that on these kind of things. This one just looks more complicated. But you will get the same answer. Isn't math amazing?
Oh yeah.
Is it opposite day? Why are you shaking no? You meant yes, right? Okay, so pick which way you like. If you like both, copy down both. Who am I to tell you how to live your life? Okay, when you try number 8, for number 8, I would move this 5 first to the other side. Then you're back to this kind of problem. They added one thing to it, is they added the 5 here. So subtract 5 both sides, then you're back at this problem. Go ahead and try number 8 right now. So let's erase this. So I was talking about the strategy for it. There's multiple ways you could do it. So Luis said that you can also just distribute, and then you get 5 plus 5x plus 20 less than or equal to 20. Combine like terms on the same side first, and then do the rest. Or you could, the other thing that you could do is you could say this is positive, subtract 5, and now we're back at this problem over here. Less than or equal to 15. And then you would distribute and do all the other stuff as well. Or you could even divide by 5 here instead of distribute. It's up to you. Okay, so to save time, because looking at how many problems there are, we won't have enough time in class to do every single problem, right? But I do want you to do the problems as much as you can here, or at least we won't have time for me to go over it. So take your time, look over every single problem, and start putting stars by the ones that you want me to go over. I think we probably have time for maybe 3 or 4 problems till the end of class. So put stars on those, and be ready to tell me which ones you want me to go over, and we'll do that now. So try to find ones that take care of a few of them. So there's a lot of similar ones.
I'm stuck on 9. The fraction just get me.
On 9? Okay, so we want to do 9. What else? 9, 12, 20. Okay, one more. 14. Anyone want to do something else? So everyone's okay with 9, 12, 20, 14?
What about 19?
Okay, everyone look at 19. Do you think 19 looks hard? Loki? So you're saying I never understood that. Why do you say low key? Because it's not really low key because you just told me that it is hard.
Yeah, but
It's like don't tell my secret, but
Just a thing, it's like a habit.
yeah. Okay, we'll see if we can fit
It's like a
19 in
one-on-one
also.
thing, but I said it out loud.
Okay, let's go to 9 first. So everyone go to 9. Let me make sure I'm recording. Yep. Okay. Let's go to 9. Wrong pencil. What did you do first on 9?
Alright.
Well, what would you do if you haven't done it?
I subtract 3 on both sides.
Okay, subtract 3 from both sides. Alright, so this becomes 1/2 times 3 minus x is less than, what's negative 7 minus 3? So we use keep, change, plus negative. You owe me 7, you owe me 3, negative 10. Now what?
I multiply, I distribute.
You distribute? Okay.
And I got 3 over 2.
Alright, so I'm going to put this to the side. Don't copy this yet, because I'm going to show you how this way is a lot harder. There's another trick.
3 over 2. Yeah,
Right. Then you would have to subtract the 3 over 2, both sides. But to do this, you would have to make this to where it's 20 over 2, right?
10 over 1. Okay. Is that wrong?
Well, you have to make it to where they have the same denominator.
Oh,
So then this would be 20 over 1, negative 20 negative 20 over 2, because that reduces to negative 10, and then minus 3 over 2. What's negative 20 minus 3?
17.
No?
No.
No?
23. Negative 23.
Negative 23 over 2. Good. Less than negative half x. So you have fraction equals fraction. You could put this x on top, actually.
As far as I got was
X over 2 negative. And then you would cross multiply. Is this just
I get
crazy?
It
You tapped out?
now. I get it now, but
You get it
I
now?
saw my
Oh.
mistake, but I'm still going to argue.
Okay, so then this becomes negative 2x less than, negative 46. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. X, we divided by a negative, so what should I do?
Oh, switch the sign.
Flip the sign. So greater than 23. Okay? Ready for the easy way?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to multiply this whole equation by something that will get rid of the denominator. Now, if I multiply a half and I want to get 1, what kind of fraction do I need to multiply it by? 2 over 1. So these cancel, and then it becomes 1, right? So I'm making the whole equation. That's why I picked 2, because I want to get rid of this fraction. Now, what this is called, what teachers call it all across the land, is fraction busters. Usually in middle school. They probably call it something else in high school. So you have fraction busters, so you're basically getting rid of that fraction. Now you only distribute this to here and here. The reason why you don't distribute it to inside here is because it has a domino effect. If I multiply something here, then after, it'll multiply here and here by distributive property. So if you multiply it to every single number and term you see, it makes it to where you just multiply too many times. Does that make sense? So let's take that out. So what is 2 times a half? 1. So this one goes away to just 1, and that becomes 3 minus x less than, what is 2 times negative 10? Negative 20. This becomes 3 minus x less than negative 20. And now what? This is positive.
So 3 minus
Opposite side, so minus 3. So this becomes negative x though. Alright, you have to keep that negative in front. Less than what?
23.
Negative 23. Think of this as a negative 1. How do I get rid of that negative? Multiply it or divide it by another negative. So we're going to divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. X is less than, negative divided by negative is? Positive, good job. This becomes just 23. Oh, I messed up.
You got to switch them.
Alright, be nice about it. Jeez. Just kidding. Alright, so switch it. Because we divided by a negative. So dividing by a negative switches the sign. So this less than becomes greater than. Did we get the same answer? Which way was easier?
My way.
Stubborn man. So you had to really know your fraction rules if you did it the first way. All right. Let's go to the next one. Number 12. Can I zoom in more? This is so small. I want to zoom in more. I guess not. That's as far as you can zoom in. No. All right.
You always spell my name wrong.
Hmm? Okay. So, let me see. Alright. This one's going to have a lot of work, so let me do a blank page. And we have... Can I see your paper so then I can copy it off of yours? So, for 12, we have 1/2 times 4x minus 2 minus 2/3 times 6x plus 9. And that is less than or equal to 4. Ooh, fractions.
Don't you love them?
Yeah. All right. Put your brackets. We're going to do fraction busters. But this time we have 2 fractions. So what do you think we're going to do?
You can do it twice.
So before we saw it where there was 2, you basically are going to do it twice. But before we saw that it was just 2, so we picked 2, right? So I'm going to pick 2 again. What else do you see?
Another fraction.
Another fraction. So we see 3. So we're going to pick a 3 right there. Any other fractions? No. So in other words, we're picking 6. But I like to leave it as 2 and 3 because it makes it nice for covering up. So we're going to take both of these numbers and we're going to multiply this term, not these because they're in parentheses. So whenever they're in parentheses, think of it as a shield. Okay, so they're in this house, this shield, so you can't get to them. You have to think of it, the math in these ways when you're first learning it, just so then you remember it. So you're multiplying 2 and 3 times this, and it's harder than it looks, because you'll see. All right, then you multiply here, and then you're going to multiply all the way here, because this one is protected by a shield. Okay, ready? Let's do the first one. So 2 times 3 times 1/2. It's nice leaving it like this because you see the 2's are in common. So usually if I was on a board, I'd put my hands and cover things up for you. So I'm going to actually do it to the side so I don't ruin it. So this is the work that we're doing right now. The 2's cancel. I would cover this up with my hand, cover this up with my hand. What's left? 3. So this becomes just 3. So imagine I cover this up with my hand, cover this up. What's left? 3. I put a 3 there.
So what if you were to multiply it first and get 6?
Then you would have to say 2 goes into 6 how many times, and you get 3. Then this becomes 3 times 4x minus 2. Now I put the minus because this is positive times minus is still going to be a negative. The 3, cover this up with my hand, cover this up with my hand. What do I have left? 2. And then there's a 2 on top. What do you think I do? What's that? You did a T-Rex hand.
I said 1.
No. They're both on the top though. So
Oh.
here, let's look at this. All right. So we cover this up with my hand, cover this up, multiply across. What do you get?
4.
-4. Good job. So we have the negative there, put a 4. 6x plus 9 less than or equal to 4. Do you think from here you can do it? Make sure to build your wall so you can realize how to combine like terms. Okay, same side, opposite side, that kind of stuff.
You can basically do the fraction busters
Mhm.
on any problems fractions, like with these kind of problems.
Yeah. The only time you can't do fraction busters is when if you have something like this. If I have this, I can't do fraction busters because there's nothing on the right side. We're dealing with an expression. So that would change everything. You have to have a right side in order to do it. So it would have to have something like equals 3, anything, just to balance it out. So when you do the fraction busters, it doesn't ruin everything.
I like the first one.
Hmm?
Just like number 9.
Oh, let me go back to it so I could see it. So like number 9, what's your question?
No, I was saying like it's just like number 9. How you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so they on this worksheet, you're going to find everything has an inequality, so you won't run into that issue. But if you had it to where it was an expression and there's no inequality or equal sign, then you couldn't do it because there's nothing on the other side to balance it out. Because basically what you've been doing is you multiply 2 on one side, you multiply 2 on the other side, right? That keeps it balanced. But if you only multiply 2 on one side without knowing the right side, that won't work. Okay, next one on the list was 20. So I only gave you a hint on 12, so make sure to finish that. On 20, you have 6x minus 2. Oh, good. This one looks like what we just did, right? So you will get practice on this. So if the last one didn't make sense on where you would go next, then just look at this problem. So for 20, we have 6x minus 2 times x plus 2 is greater than 2 minus 3 times x plus 3. No yawning. I'm just kidding. It's okay. All right. So we have the negative 2 times x plus 2. You should get in the habit of looking for parentheses. All right? PEMDAS says look for parentheses. So there's nothing in parentheses to simplify, but whenever you see a number on the outside, there were no exponents. Our next thing is multiplication because there's no exponents. That's why we do the distributive property is usually the first thing on this worksheet. So on both of these, and you might like getting in the habit of actually circling the number. The reason why you should get in that habit is because this way you're never forgetting that you're dealing with a negative 2, a negative 3. A lot of the times you'll only distribute the 2 and your answer will come out wrong because you forgot the sign in front. So now we have 6x. What is negative 2 times x? Try again. Very close.
Oh, negative 2x.
Negative 2x. Good job. Okay, what is a negative 2 times a positive 2? Okay, so we got negative. Now what's 2 times 2? 4. Good job. All right. So I'm trying to color code this for you. Just the things that we change are in blue. Okay, what's negative 3 times x?
Negative 3x.
Genius. All right, negative 3 times 3. Good job, guys. Now we definitely want to build our wall. Not a Trump wall, our wall. Okay, so now we're going to say 6x, negative 2x. Those things are like terms because they both are talking about just x. Same side or opposite side? Same. So if they're on the same side, combine like terms or... Huh? No? What's the saying? Same side, combine like terms, right? I already said it, so I'll say it. 6x minus 2x. What is 6 minus 2? 4. This becomes 4x. Okay, bring down what we did not touch, minus 4, greater than 2 minus 3x minus 9. Actually, hold on. Take this part out. Let's kind of combine steps so we're not here forever. We have 2 and negative 9. These are like terms, right? Where do they combine to if they're on the same side? Karen, what do you think? So basically, what is 2 minus 9? Try again. Here, do keep change. Keep this the same, 2. Change this to plus. Change this to negative. Now try it. Take your time. No. I investigated, or I was doing a insurance quote, like how much insurance it would cost. And so it's been like almost 4 months, and they won't stop calling me just because I wanted to know how much they would charge me for medical insurance. So now I'm getting calls from Florida, Texas. Oh yeah, we'll take you off the list. They never have. I think they add me on more lists. Like, oh, you asked? Okay. Good. So negative 7 minus 3x. Hold on. Don't you do that in here. He's like, are you joking?
No, I don't know if I should because I don't know if you're serious. I'm like holding it like.
Okay, now we're on where we have like terms on opposite sides, right? Okay, what do we do now? Opposite side. I'm going to bring those signs.
Opposite operation.
Come on. Opposite operation. Good. So if this is subtraction, addition. So we want to add 4 here, add 4 here. Okay, this becomes 4x greater than, what's negative 7 plus 4? No. You owe me $7, you have 4. What kind of 3? Negative 3. Good job. All right, like term, like term. Do we want to move the 4x or the negative 3x? Okay, how do I do that? Add 3x, add 3x. This becomes greater than. And last one, divide on. All right, good job. X greater than, let me fix that. X greater than negative 3 over 7. Good. And just leave it as a fraction. We don't do decimals unless we're dealing with percentages. Okay.